Well, what do you know? I was tagged at last. Thank you, just another reviewer, for tagging me. I've seen these tags a lot lately, and I've actually, for a while, tried to figure out if I ever got tagged, which I probably thought I wouldn't, which would I pick at my strike crew? This is the One Piece crew tag, so to speak, if I pronounce that right. I may not. The One Piece pirate crew tag. If I had to choose, if I understood these rules correctly, if I had to pick 12 people to be in my crew, 6 main fighters and 6 supporters, am I counting that right, not counting me, the captain? Who would I pick? And I can of course not pick a Jonko, but just by the way, why would I ever want a Jonko? The only Jonko I would have wanted would have been, Whitebeard maybe. Either way, I've tried to think about that even before I got tagged, but I couldn't really create a good crew. But now, I think I'm gonna regret putting these crews up, but it's the closest I can think of. First off, starting with me, the captain. If I had a devil fruit or not, well, that's the thing. And not that I swim as much as I used to, but I sometimes feel like I do not want to have a devil fruit, and I actually wish I could have been a long legger. I mean, I'm not a martial artist in real life, so technically, if I go with real life qualities, I probably would not have been a martial artist in that world either. Heck, I might even have been weak. But if I had a dream, say, was strong, I wish I would have been a long legger. Because even though I'm not a martial artist in real life, my legs are kind of long. Not strangely long, but I sometimes feel they are longer than my upper body. So I wish I was a long legger. And if I did have a devil fruit, I mean, I don't know if I was allowed to say this. I've made to make if I was either or did not have. But if I did have a devil fruit, I think I would have picked the Fua Fua no Mi. Why the one from Cheeky? Why? Well, simply because who don't wanna fly? Flying is freedom. Moreover, levitating things is not that stylish. There are so many more cooler uh, devil fruits, but I just picked that one because I wanted to fly, so I don't have to do anything. But I don't want a devil fruit. I would prefer to be a long legger and a martial artist there. Now then, as for my crew, this crew as the main fighters, well, it's not original, not a single bit. As my helmsman and maybe navigator, it's not exactly confirmed if he is a navigator yet, but I feel like since he could steer the ship quite good as a helmsman in Marineford, I actually believe he must have some navigational skill. Is of course Jimbei. He really has grown on me a character, and while I still have gotten that one question unanswered about him, I cannot deny that he has really become one of my favorite fishermen ever. Everything about him just screams awesome. He doesn't look overly muscular, but that's the thing is, he still kicks a lot of ass. As the then the next one will be Doctor, also not original. I think I'll pick Trafalgar Law. He is currently my favorite supernova, besides Luffy. I mean, well, Luffy's not that high on my list. I actually feel like we shouldn't have picked the supernova because technically the supernovas are captains, aren't they? But I don't think it was in the rules. So I would have picked Trafalgar Law as the doctor because, well, he and I share some things in common, I feel. Is another reason why I picked these crew members. Most of these were favorites, but I try to look into them on a personal level. One of the reasons I picked Jinbei on a personal level is because, well, he is a guy who cares about others. I am selfish by nature, but I sometimes feel like you need to be surrounded by a person who is not selfish, because that can make you a better person. At the same time, Trafalgar Law is a very cynical person. He has lived a hellish life, and he's quite brutally honest. I'm also brutally honest, so I feel like we would be very close on that. As the cook, I of course would put Sanji. If I was a long legger, after all, we would have a kinship in kicking things. And I would prefer a guy who is an open flirt to all the ladies, besides a guy who is hiding his, well, I want to say sexuality, but at the same time, uh, the same time, I would also flirt very heavily with all the female crew, even if I wouldn't feel a sexual attraction, because I feel like a real man is a real man to me is a guy who is very honest with his feelings, but at the same time also very uh, kind to the ladies. You can always tell a compliment to a lady, and it will always be true. Doesn't matter if you are flirting, or doesn't matter if you're a player. A real man never lies to a lady, which is one of the reasons why I like Sanji. And also, he's a very good cook. As I said before, I feel like Sanji is my favorite Straw Hat. Although Sanji has really suffered a lot during this later arc, I still cannot deny the reason why I picked him as my favorite person in the crew. So he is a cook and he's kicker, so it feels so original. Then after that, well, granted, we haven't seen her fight yet, and given that most of this One Piece arc has all been about her being completely stopped, I'm still gonna pick her because she has grown on me, not just because of her hidden kindness, nor for the fact that she is extremely sexy, which by the way she is, but also is if anyone we need a new another doctor besides Trafalgar Law, and we need someone who's not a devil fruit user. Yes, I am of course talking about Vinsmoke Reiju. I feel like she would just work. It's still not exactly explained how her power works, but she appears to not be a non-devil fruit user that can cure any poison. Moreover, she is beautiful. You need women on your crew. Doesn't matter if you're gay or if you're lesbian or anything else. Well, if you're lesbian, then maybe you need at least one man on the crew. But I'm not a judge here. But you definitely need a woman on your crew. And even though Reiju hasn't yet been fighting, it's been proven she can bend steel bars with her bare hands. And note, she did that when she was a kid. So yeah, I think she must have some kind of strength. She is certainly more dangerous than she looks. My let's see, my fifth fighter. This is also someone we still haven't seen so much about, and I have a feeling that when she comes back into the story, she's only gonna suffer badass decay. However, it's still worth noting that she, along with Pedro, were one of the only ones who were conscious during the gas and still willing to fight Nami. And did all that circulation, meaning she is one of the more. I still feel like she and Pedro must be among the more stronger of the people. Also, the fact that she's so important. Yes, I am talking about Wanda. We need a mink, as I said before. Minks have really become one of my favorite species ever since they were introduced. They are just so adorable looking, especially the females, and a female swordsman who is a dog? Yeah, I'll go with that. I would have otherwise picked Inuarashi, but I think I'll pick Wanda. As I said before, though, we still haven't seen her fight, but if you still, well, albeit barely, still can fight, still have a will to go down with everything else, and can have a channel electricity through your sword, after being poisoned by a very dangerous weapon, then you definitely as a strong fighter in my book. So I'll pick Wanda as probably one of my swordsmen, because my second swordsman and my last of the main fighters will probably be Brook. Brook is on my, I think, number second in my favorite Straw Hat crew member list, or my favorite One Piece crew members. And Brook, well, technically, Brook is the only one who has shined during this arc that's supposed to have been for Sanji. Yeah, I'm never gonna let that go. Oh, I have never before have Uda lied to me this much. An arc of Sanji, that was a load of bull! This is an arc of Brook. The only reason it's an arc for Sanji is because we see more deeply into his past. It's an it was an arc of Brook because Brook, well, he certainly shot up on the badassness this one. And not only that, I feel like his character is so funny. A living, talking skeleton. I mean, in real life, though, I would probably have freaked out because yeah, I forgot to tell my real life connections to the other three. I would have picked Reiju, Vinsmoke Reiju in real life because well, she I will probably be a little bit shy around a girl that's very flirting with me, but I at the same time would still like her very much. And as I said before, an enhanced human. I would really like to know more about them. Sorry, my phone is ringing in the business. Another reason why I picked Wanda is because, well, who don't want to have... everyone has a little furry fantasies every now and again. But in all seriousness, not that I'm so good with dealing with animals in real life, but I feel like if I met a real life dog, I would either be terrified or extremely... Uh, wow, this is interesting. But I am a fan of furry, so and especially big boobs, girl like that. That would have been one of the reasons that I'd drawn to her. But she's also very open and affectionate, and yes, at the same time we read you and at the same time we read you. You need kind-hearted people in order to make you a better person. And that's one other reason why I picked Brooke. Brooke is a musician, a wonderful musician that's a dancer skeletons. In real life, I would have been terrified of him, but at the same time, his nice character would have drawn on me, and his devil fruit. Oh my god, his devil fruit has actually become so cool lately. And I'm a fan of his sword art. So, these are my 6 main fighters. Now, as for my support, also not original, I'll pick Nico Robin because, well, if you ask me, you need Nico Robin. It's still no answer on if there is anyone else that can read the poneglyphs, but probably will be. And also, I Robin is my favorite female Straw Hat crew member, but she's also full of history. In school, history was among one of my best subjects. And in if I was in the One Piece world, I would probably be ignorant of all this. But if I'm going with my own personality, I would have been a cynical person in the One Piece world, which is probably one of the reasons I would have been drawn to Robin. We would have we both have a cynical view on the world and a very dark, morbid sense of humor. So I think I would like that, and I need a history. Then my second supporter will be Koala. I just liked her when she came back. She was not only sexy beautiful, but she had that very adorable face. Granted, it's not exactly answered if she can fight. I mean, we had burning blood, but that's what's about it. So it's... but I still feel like she's very good at getting information. She's working for the revolutionary after all. She really can get information if you want. And she had a tragic path with slavery. I would really like to liberate slaves from the oppression of the government, and that's one of the best way to get loyalty too. But in all seriousness, uh, I feel like Koala is a character we need to have a little bit more fleshed out in the story, but I know we're not going to get that. The reason why I'm saying that is because when Koala was reintroduced into the story, she was said she was an assistant trainer in Fishman Karate, and yet we still haven't seen much of her, only in anime fillers and in video games. What I meant to say is the fact that she is a human who has Fishman Karate shows that she really has embraced the Fishman, I want to say culture, but maybe that sounds a little bit wrong to say that. I mean, she loves fishmen. She loves them because she saw they're not so feared creatures. They're actually more kind-hearted than you think. So I really want to see more of her in the story, mostly because I want to see why she left the village. Very likely because she figured out that what they did. And I think she became an assistant instructor in Fishman Karate because, well, she wants to get close to the fisherman as a whole. It's still not explained though how a human fights with that kind of stuff, seeing that a fisherman has webbed hands and stuff like that. So, but she's mostly good at getting information, so I would like it. My third support will be Mancheri. I need a dwarf on my crew, and now I technically have 3 doctors. I mean, Law, Reiju, and Mancheli. Mancheli would really be my one because I mean, I just look at that adorable little dwarf and I cry. No, seriously, I cry. I've been so I've been falling for her so much. She's just too adorable, and I love adorable creatures in fiction. So I would definitely be a smother of that. Moreover, she has the heal fruit. With Laws, they will make the perfect doctor team. Law with his devil fruit to cut the bones, Ryuju with her ability to absorb any poison, and Manchali with the power to heal fatigue and everything else. If they combine their skills, they could really save everyone from a dangerous situation. Now we come to the last three, and this is where it's very dangerous. I wanted to either pick that that I wanted. It got to a point where I either wanted to pick Viola or Shirahoshi for this one. I mean, Viola's devil fruit would certainly have been very useful in all this situation, but I have Koala, and Koala is very good at also getting information. So in the end, I picked Shirahoshi. At the beginning, her character did not grow on me, but as I have walked back to the Fishman Island arc, I've just fallen in love with her. In real life, I probably would be just like Luffy, feel like she's a bit annoying with the crying. But what really draw me into Shirahoshi is her kind heart. Her kind heart, her giant size, ability to control the Sea Kings too. I mean, if I want her crew, I don't want to have that power, but she could have been used in order to make sure that we will have safe passage through the ocean. And we need a mermaid on the crew. I mean, she will probably be too big to the ship, but still. And she's polite too. Everything about that, but it was her kindness was the reason because she grew to me as a character. It's just so emotional seeing that. This girl had been through a lot, and yet she still chooses to do the one thing other people don't, letting go of hatred and just crying for feeling sad for the devils. It's very rare to find someone that kind nowadays. After all, we live in a crap-sacked world now. There's no denying it anymore. We are all doomed. So we need some kindness to brighten the way. My fifth support will be Karoto. Granted, Karoto still hasn't really shown her extreme badassness this arc, but I liked her character ever since she showed herself and when she got more into her, and especially when joined this arc. Unless she is what she's implying to be. I mean, she seems to be a strong fighter, and she's been confirmed to be a little bit more dangerous than you think, but she still has only been that thing. But she seems to be very good at drawing things, so we need someone to paint the pirate flag, although she will probably paint it very feminine looking. But she and Koala could work together on getting information. And of all the supporters on this crew, I think she would be among the strongest. However, the last one on this crew would probably destroy that. So I will pick Karoto. She and Wanda will make a good team. My last member on this crew. I don't really have every single one on what I need on the crew. I mean, I'm still not exactly sure Jinbei is a navigator. And I would pick Shiroshi and Mancheri because their kindness is what draws them to me. Koala because of her sad past, and Nico Robbins too. And Karoto because, well, she's just so adorable, and who doesn't love an adorable kick-ass bunny? That is female, by the way. But for my last crew, I need a shipwright. And who's am I gonna pick then? Kaku. I think I will pick Kaku. It's still not exactly confirmed how much of a jerk he is in the current story, but if I ever picked a villain, I would pick Kaku. Because he always was a fan of building ships, and he is a licensed shipwright, saw the damage to the Going Merry, so I think he is among the best shipwrights out there. Moreover, he can kick ass, and is a swordsman, and have a devil fruit that allows him to turn into a giraffe that is being very badass. So I think I'll pick that because I need a very good shipwright, and I think he would build a nice one. Also, he's one of the few characters who talks very differently than others. So yeah, I think I'll pick these 12 along with me as my pirate crew. I'm a long-legged member, Jinbei, my helmsman and maybe navigator. Trafalgar Law is my main doctor. Sandy is the cook. Winsmoke Reju is the main fighter and support doctor. Wanda is my swordswoman, and among, well, maybe not first mate, is my support swordswoman. Brooke is my musician and swordswoman, and support I will Nico Robin as my historian and advisor. Koala as my informant, getting informants. Manchali as my third healer, and also the only dwarf that can also sneak into getting stuff. She has my way to control the ocean and getting safe passages by that. Karoto, because she is a kick-ass bunny and is very good at drawing stuff in a little way. And Kaku as a shipwright and a licensed CP9 agent with kick-ass martial arts skills and a devil fruit that allows him to turn into a giraffe. Because I once looked into myself and turns out I'm also a giraffe. So there, this is my pirate crew. Now I'm supposed to tag people, right? Wonder who can I tag that haven't done these things yet. Well, I have 4 candidates, or am I only allowed to tag 2? If well, if they are there. Okay. First off, I will place their names in the description too, but I doubt they will see this video anyway, so we'll see about that. I'll tag you, Dresrosa, if you still want to do a One Piece video. If you wanted to make a crew, who would you that? Who would that be? My other one I would wish to tag is if you do not have made a video like this, let's check if you haven't. I think I would really want to pick no, I think you have already picked your crew. In that case, Triple L. I mean, I know you took a break from everything this, but if you ever come back, I wish to do that. My final member I wish to tag is let's see now. How can I pronounce? Am I pronouncing your name right? GregoGM. I probably am not saying your name right, but if you're watching this, I wish to know your pirate crew too. I'll leave their names in the description. My final one that I wanted to mention was, I think, Dr. Blink, but I think he already had made that. Either way, this is my pirate crew. Unstable and original, but still, I feel like for now, they're mine. Give me your thoughts if you have any.